Remember your vows, sir. You despise the Simpsons and swore to wipe them off the face of the earth. Ah, classic Mr. Burns. Well, Acclaim had their hands in a lot of things at the time, and they wanted to expand from the video game realm. They wanted to take over TV as well. Mm-hmm. So they co-produced a series called Video Power here in the States and Canada in the late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, 1990.
Essentially what this is it's a vehicle for Acclaim games, to promote them, to tell kids to buy them. And what it is live-action segments interspersed with cartoon segments featuring Acclaim characters. The big guy who always talks about chili dogs and goes, "Duh, boss," that's Joe Rockhead, a PCP addict in the arcade game. The guy with the sunglasses is Hypo Man, who throws syringes at you during NARC.
Filled with heroin, I assume.
Of course, of course. And Mr. Big is straight up Mr. Big from NARC. So yeah, a lot of those characters were from Midway arcade games that Acclaim ported to the NES, and I guess they just got the rights to the characters and made a kid's cartoon about them. And Bigfoot was there.
Yeah, and Bigfoot could talk, and also the guy from Arch Rivals, and Quark, the hip tomato with shades.
There was a lot to discuss in that, but I think it's time we move on to Acclaim of 1990. Let's play Bigfoot. There he is. I don't think he talks in this game, unfortunately.
That's bullshit.
But this is where the cartoon version came from. That cartoon actually uses a lot of sound effects from this game, among other Acclaim games, so you might spot those. And once again, this is another game from Beam Software. We didn't actually cover this during our Beam Software stream, so let's go ahead and spend a couple minutes with this.
Go.
Yeah, there we go. Alright, so it's an overhead view racing game where you control a monster truck. It's always head-to-head. You're either competing with a second player or the computer. And it's got this odd catch-up mechanic where if you drag off the bottom of the screen, you lose time or something? I'm not super clear on it. I never played much of this. But around this time, games like RC Pro-Am and Rad Racer were popular, so Acclaim decided they needed a racing game. Talked to Beam Software, asked them if they know what a monster truck is. They said yes, so they made the game.
Do monster trucks typically race? I typically just think of them as, like, running over things and crushing.
The bonus games in this game are all about crushing cars, but the main meat of the game are in these head-to-head races. And also there's cars here on the track you can crush sometimes.
Well, that guy crushed them before you could. That's a shame.
Should also note, for people not familiar with the Bigfoot mythos, this is an actual monster truck who predates this game and the cartoon. It's a monster truck that appears at monster truck rallies, which are things that we hold in stadiums here in the States, where we get a bunch of junk cars and then big trucks run over them. Yes, that's really a thing that happens. It sounds weird when I say it like that, but that's a thing. Both Bigfoot and his counterpart Truckosaurus are here to destroy your cars.
So why was Bigfoot so popular? Why did everybody decide Bigfoot was the big monster truck?
I don't know. He was just the most popular one. I guess he had the best PR team.
Yeah, I've been wanting to research monster truck stuff, especially.
Ooh, voices.
Especially Monster Jam and that kind of thing. Because there's a whole culture of monster trucks, monster truck drivers, and things like that. I know, like, literally nothing about it, which I want to know about because I love things like giant cars crushing smaller
cars. Alex, you're not going to believe this, but this uses the same control scheme as Winter Games. You have to hit left and right. Anyway, I already lost.
Yes, there are still monster truck rallies.
Still very popular. Still very exciting. You'll pay for the whole seat, but you only need the edge. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Why don't they just sell you the edge? Maybe they could save some money
Maybe
that
I just
way.
want a discount.
Yeah.
Just give me a tiny bench. What? The controls are different now? Alex, what the hell is this game? Oh, Bigfoot can't go uphill. Bigfoot's...
Wow.
Bigfoot ate too much.
Bigfoot's driver needs to
retire.
Retire.
Alright, so there's Bigfoot, one of the characters featured in the Power Team cartoon. Also prominently featured was Quark, the amazing tomato, who had a Game Boy game at the time. Mm-hmm. That was another localized puzzle game that Acclaim brought over.
It was a Puzzle Boy, and they turned it into Quark, the hip tomato with shades. And he certainly was hip, and he had shades.
So
no lies there.
Let's also see NARC, unfortunately. Now, this arcade game is pretty amazing. It's a Eugene Jarvis joint, so it's way over the top in just about every way. The NES was not capable of this game. Like, not even a little bit. This is what NARC looks like on the NES. Also,
they had to tone down some of the drug stuff because,
Yeah, there's crack in this game, but then in the NES one, they call it Quack. K-W-A-K.
Quack, the hip drug with shades. When they localized the rock cocaine, they had to localize it as Quack here in the States. But it's licensed elsewhere as the Amazing Tater drug.
The Amazing Tater drug. So superficially, this looks like NARC. You shoot people, you arrest them for points. Alright, I'm talking to the real NARC heads, the real people who know how to play this game. When you duck in this game, enemies can still shoot you! They didn't even get that right! That's the most basic thing, and they fucked it up. So all your scoring strategies and shit from the original arcade game do not apply. Rare has gone rogue. They have just decided to do whatever with this game, and frankly, I don't blame them, because this does not look like it had much budget or care or attention. It was just, hey, release another Midway game here on the NES, because you gotta. I do recommend checking out the original arcade game, though, because it is some wild, weird shit. And someday we gotta play the PS2 NARC game, because, oh my god.
That game is just...
That is a game no one knows about.
When you shoot the dog, they became a smaller dog.
Yeah, they turn into puppies and run off.
That's fair.
I guess that's preferable, given the alternative, but... Yeah, this game tries to replicate NARC to an extent, and it does have two-player, the same drug-collecting, drug-dealer-busting gameplay is here, but it's all fucked up and bad. Let's see if we can get to the second level, at least. Now, the trick to playing this game on one credit in the arcade is to do as many busts as you can. Oh yeah, Quack Stop. There's Hypo Man from the cartoon. In his usual habitat.
The Quack Stop.
Mm-hmm. Eugene's nightclub. I have a lot of complicated feelings about NARC. For one thing, it also has a really pessimistic view of urban life in America. Like, just the streets are full of drug dealers, so don't feel bad about blowing them up.
Yeah, it's definitely fits in with a lot of the 80s type of,
it was the style at the time, yeah.
Yeah, this whole kind of pessimistic, oh, well, we might as well just shoot a bunch of thugs, type thing, which thugs could be anybody, and shooting them is whatever.
That's what we gotta do, they're drug dealers, they must be killed. Here's a fun level.
Oh my god, they're just throwing needles at you!
You can blow up their beakers. And yeah, Hypo Man just giving away free drugs. That shit costs money, man. Oh, I do like the dismemberment. They kept that. When you blow up an enemy with a rocket, their legs and arms just go flying everywhere. So this is an NES game explicitly about drugs and violence, and Nintendo was like, yeah, alright. Because Acclaim gave them money. Like, seriously, one day we're gonna have an all-NARC stream, and I'm gonna lay it all out on the table.
I just realized those are giant crack pipes.
Yeah. Great, huh?
Jesus H. Nintendo, what were you...
I don't really know. I guess Acclaim paid them enough license fees for them to look the other way. Oh, and here's our friend Joe Rockhead from the show. A.k.a. Dumpster Man.
Okay, so first of all, that's not me, but I do like the name Dumpster Man.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have a PCP problem, but I do like the name Dumpster Man.
Hey, he's so strong he can lift up dumpsters and throw them at you. Also, you can't kill him with bullets. You have to shoot a rocket at him, because PCP. It's true to life. You can't dispute that. Alright, I'm flushing this. This is garbage. So rounding out the Power Team's roster was Tyrone, just a regular dude, but star of Arch Rivals, which is yet another Midway arcade game. Yet another Midway arcade game that's also ported by Rare. They were pretty busy back then, and I guess that explains the quality of their games. Look at these graphics. Let's be Tyrone. He's a defensive giant.
Okay.
He gets all offended. What do you mean? I can't play basketball. He's gonna get defensive about it. Alright, I don't know what the hell happened there, but... I'm here too.
I forgot this game had a British Knights sponsorship.
Yeah, buy British Knights.
Okay, sounds good.
They're cool shoes.
Can do. I saw them on all my local, game shows as a child in the 90s, so I gotta have them.
Oh yeah, Nick Arcade was all about them too.
I think Double Dare was too.
I did it!
Children, wear British Knights. Do it!
BK.
Wear these shoes.
Now, if you're unfamiliar with this game, the first thing you might think is, oh my god, this is NBA Jam. And yeah, this was pretty much prototype NBA Jam from many of the same developers.
Oh yeah, because this was Midway, right?
Yeah, it wasn't until years later they decided to add digitized graphics and an official license. Yeah, and suddenly it's a hit video game.
I like Arch Rivals, actually.
It's pretty neat. I like the original arcade game. This one, no. Really thinking about it, just seeing how many games Rare made for Acclaim, I guess that has more to do with their quality than anything. Because Wizards and Warriors, that was their only game to come out in '87. They had actual time to make a good game. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, '90, they're making, what, 6, 7 games in the space of a few months? Yeah. I think this also came out on Sega Genesis. Maybe that port's better. Oh, that was sweet! 2 points.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the dead-eyed audience and feeling it.
I'm looking at the dead-eyed everything. Charge. It's a basket brawl. Also, it's a living. Oh my god, I'm losing 2 to 12. How did this happen? Yeah, just punch my other dude and make a half-court shot. Just whatever. Just embarrass me live on stream. That entire play was an embarrassment to basketball. I'm going to quit. Alright, so that's an overview of everyone who was in the Power Team. A lot of very underwhelming, poorly produced ports of Midway arcade games. I did.
First I was like, screw you, Danny, stop.
So I skipped a couple of games just to get to the Power Team roster, but now you know. Now you know where they all come from and why they're the best team in video land.
We love the Power Team.
They're coming for you, Captain N. Your ass is grass. Alright, so 1990.
What else we got in 1990?
Acclaim's first order of business was to release a game that I'm not familiar with. It's called Destination Earthstar.
Oh, that sounds fake.
Looks exactly like Star Voyager.
I was thinking it's Star Voyager.
Who made this? Are they gonna tell us?
No.
Yeah, probably. Imagineering! Fuck!
Your enemies are back.
Alright, this is the first appearance from Imagineering, who currently ranks at the bottom of our Mascot Friday list. These are the people who made Family Dog and Home Alone 2 for Super Nintendo. They're garbage people from New Jersey, and I hate them. And they ripped off Star Voyager, which itself was a rip-off of Star Raiders. What the hell? You still... Yeah, okay, you still speed up with B, and A is shoot, and you got the map, and... the game crashed?
Nice. Did you break the game?
Oh, I wish you started the timer, because I wanted to see how quick that was.
I'm sorry.
Alright, so that's Destination Earthstar, which is Star Voyager by the way of Imagineering. It sucks so bad it instantly crashes. probably just the emulator, but I think we've been spared. I think we've been spared. For now. This is not the last we've seen of Imagineering, unfortunately. Oh, I feel lucky. We don't have to play that, but we do have to play Swords and Serpents.
Interplay, okay.
Yeah, Acclaim teaming up with another developer, Interplay, who at the time was a pretty big player on PCs. And this is produced by Brian Fargo, creator of Wasteland, which was a predecessor to the Fallout series.
Hey, yeah.
These are... The people at Interplay at the time were several people who had worked on games like The Bard's Tale and Wasteland. And here they are on the NES with a first-person dungeon crawler. You can make your own party and roll your own stats. You actually have to re-roll a lot to get good stats, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the existing party. I own this game, but not by choice. One of my dad's friends let me borrow this, and then moved out of state. So that's how I got it.
I love when you get games like that.
Yeah, normally I love it when I get games like that, but...
It was this.
But it was this.
Oh, that bat. I don't know about that bat.
So it's turn-based. You switch between your party members and take turns beating up on monsters as you find Destiny. Welcome to it.
I love Destiny.
You gotta slay the dragon. You gotta find 7 ruby treasures, and there's 30 levels, and it will take you fucking forever. I did make an honest effort to play through this game as a kid, because, you know, you have limited cartridges, you gotta make the most out of the games you have. I played the hell out of this, and I eventually gave up, because eventually it starts putting teleporters and false floors in places, and it gets really obnoxious. But to this game's credit, the graphics are nice, I guess.
They are.
Oh, one of my party members is already dead. That's a good start.
That rip. Oh, 2 of them are dead.
Nice. Kill them all. Do I look like I care?
I would assume you would care a little at least.
Well, fine. Oh, magic works.
No healing though.
No, we don't need healing. Okay, the one cool thing about this game is the auto map. That actually is cool. It's kind of unusual for the time, especially on NES.
Actually, yeah, auto mapping is unusual.
Yeah.
Back then.
And it's pretty complete. It automatically fills in as you explore squares in the maze. You don't have to draw maps. It's just there. The thing is, it only persists for up to 3 levels after you've used the auto map. Like if you go from floor 7 to floor 4 and you'd filled out the floor 4 map before, it's gone. It just forgets about them after a while. And it has spiders. What do you think?
Well, I think that spider... I don't like how the spider is leaping out of the...
yeah, you're leaving the game screen there, buddy.
Yeah, you're leaving over the overlay. You're going into the UI. I don't like that.
Stay on your own side.
Get out of the interface, please. Oh god, you're about to die.
Oh my god, my computer's about to die.
Well, it's okay.
It's telling me to update. Well, my entire party's dead, thanks to Windows 10. That's what I choose to blame it on. Anyway, there's a lot of game here. Back then, you might have been able to get into it if you didn't have a PC, but nowadays there's not much reason to play it.
Yeah, play Legend of Grimrock instead.
Agreed. Or Etrian Odyssey.
Oh, that's gross looking. Look at how, like, melty his skin is.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Not a fan. Get out of here.
Yeah, let's get the hell out. Let's play something else. Let's play something good. Alright, so we played Destination Earthstar, Bigfoot, NARC, Swords and Serpents. Next up in August of 1990 was a true classic. Total Recall.
He looks so cool!
That's Arnold. Anyway, this follows the plot of the movie, but one thing I want to do before anything is go to the theater, because it tells you the people who made this. Brian Fargo, Alan Pavlish, I think Bruce Schlickenberg? All those people worked on Wasteland. This is the Wasteland team, making an NES game.
That's so wild.
Wasteland, a landmark PC RPG. And music by George the Fat Man Sanger?
The fuck?
This is an all-star team, and they managed to make complete and total shit, because this game sucks.
This game really does suck.
It so sucks. So first of all, you can just walk down the street and be stopped by these dudes who pull you into an alley, and you gotta punch them.
I was assuming that was a sewer.
It's the sewer alley. It's an alley that people use as a sewer.
BMF said they'd give us 500 bits if we skip to the next game.
No way, this is an important historical...
But we already got the bits! Should have made the demand before.
Exactly.
It's called negotiating.
Plus, it's an important part of history. Okay, here's something cool I don't think a lot of people know about this game. If you hold the B button and you set it to be turbo speed, this happens.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
I'm not using slow motion or anything. This is just what happens if you push the B button fast enough. He punches 1 billion times in midair, and the game cannot keep up with it.
81 Rambler asks, wasn't this the game that made Acclaim pull its ads from EGM for being furious about its review scores?
That is what happened. Yeah,
Oh my
EGM
God,
got their hands on this, and they gave it like 3s and 4s. One of the reviewers called it total reject, and that apparently made not a lot of people want to buy it, and Acclaim was pissed.
Well, it was bad.
Alex, I made an important speed tech discovery.
What?
I skipped this part, this scene where they stopped the scrolling.
Yeah.
And made you fight it. I skipped it because the game was lagging too much from me punching in the air.
Oh shit.
I noticed it activated when I went back.
Well, we found a speed tech.
And look at this! Okay, no, the glory holes are working again. Never mind. You can't skip the glory holes. But yeah, if you punch fast enough in midair, I guess you can skip the scripted fights in this game.
Hey Danny, what's up with that thing in the hole?
Well, you know.
Danny!
Just waiting for my turn.
Okay!
I don't think I need to elaborate. So yeah, Acclaim comes out with another side-scroller, but unfortunately this one just totally sucks. I'm gonna try and play a little bit more of this, but I kinda hate it. Alright, so fess up. Who played this as a kid? Who was unfortunate enough to play this game when it was contemporary? Because I feel for you. And one thing to this game's credit, it actually sticks to the plot pretty closely, or at least the major events in the movie. Like, this scene here is where he goes back home to his wife, and his wife wants to kill him, so you gotta beat her up. And as the Angry Video Game Nerd mentioned in his review of this game, yeah, one of the first things you do in this game is kill your wife.
A true gamer's game.
A true gamer's game, if there ever was one, yeah. Also, during the fight, this dude comes in and starts machine gunning everything. And you gotta force your way past him. Just...
Yeah.
Brian Fargo and co. What went so wrong?
Whoa! Whoa, that's cool! You're a skeleton!
Uh-huh. This is also from the movie, and this part actually looks pretty good.
Alright, you got 40 seconds left.
Oh, only 40 seconds?
Only 40 seconds.
I could play this game forever.
He'll be back, kid.
It looks like an N, so
yeah,
it's like...
he'll be back.
I'll be bacon.
Ah, we'll all be bacon one day.
Alright, fuck it, I'm just killing him off. Yeah, if you're a bad games connoisseur, I do actually recommend playing this game, because it's just incredible how things went so wrong for what should have been a very talented team of developers. I really want to ask Brian Fargo at some point, like, what the deal with this game was. Like, were you just under intense time pressure? Did they give you no budget? Like, what? Seriously,
well,
dude.
That's 5 minutes.
Oh, unfortunately, that's all we get to see of Total Recall. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. Acclaim made a bad game. Let's play a good game.
Oh, I like this game.
Me too.
I actually really like this game.
Alright, so this is like the 5th or 6th game that Acclaim ported from a Midway arcade game. And this is by Visual Concepts, so it actually is pretty good.
So the arcade version of this game features clay animated figures, like stop motion looking figures, if I recall.
Yeah, all the characters in this were clay animated and then digitized. This was among the first Midway games to really lean on digitization, as they did with NARC.
It looked really good.
Yeah, and later on they'd improve the technology and use that in Mortal Kombat. I'm saying Mortal Kombat should have been claymation. That would have been a hell of a thing.
Bloop!
Yeah, the effect's kind of lost when you bring it to NES. You don't really see any of the clay models. They just had to redraw them.
But it's a fun little, like, Pac-Man-esque maze game.
It is. This NES one is up to 2 players. Oh, I got eaten. And the arcade game is up to 4 players, so that's really fun.
Oh yeah, Goro was claymation.
Oh, that's right!
He was.
Okay, so they used a little bit of claymation for Mortal Kombat. Here's the best part of the game. You turn into a T-Rex and just go around eating everyone.
So yeah, this game is a lot like Pac-Man with cavemen and dinosaurs.
That's all it is. You just collect all the eggs, get to the exit.
So all you members of the caveman fandom may want to check this out.
Oh yeah, here's another caveman game for you. We love our caveman games.
We sure do.
Not the game called Caveman Games, just in general.
We actually, Caveman Games is not a good caveman game.
I'm Dynamite. So see, some of their ports could be successful. They just lit the pressure off a Rare for once in their goddamn lives and let someone else make this game.
The designers who made this game also worked on Revolution X.
Oh.
That's another digitization heavy game.
It is. It is. They were very experienced by that point. Also worth noting is several years back, a prototype version of this game was added to MAME that's very, very different from the final version.
BMF mentioned that, where you can't control the dinosaur directly.
What you do is you control this hand that puts down bones, and when all the characters move automatically, and when they touch a bone, they automatically turn. It was kind of a strange puzzle game-like setup. And I guess it didn't test very well because they overhauled the game completely before releasing it. I guess they figured, hey, we put all this effort and time into making these clay models. Better not waste them on a game that nobody likes.
Yeah.
So in the end, the game became simpler, but that's kind of a good thing.
Yes, Jack Hager. That's who worked on this. Who also did Revolution X, Terminator 2, and of course, Carnival.
Oh, of course, Carnival.
Of course. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Abby, for the info.
Man, if only they ported Carnival to the NES. I guess there's not much else to say about this, but it's fun. It's got a lot of power-ups, a lot of different gimmicks. Eventually the Trogs develop new technology, and they start chasing you around with it.
Oh no.
Gameplay evolves over time, and though there's a lot of levels, it doesn't really get boring. Could it be? Is Trog good?
Trog is good.
Trog is good. Confirmed. I enjoyed Trog. We ought to play the arcade version sometime.
I think we should.
I also remember the arcade version for being really loud. Like, if you played it, you would just hear it over everything else in the arcade.
Oh god.
Maybe that was just my copy of Trog at my local arcade.
1941 at my local arcade had that issue.
Oh god. You get really self-conscious when you play a loud arcade game, you know? Everyone's looking at me.
Oh, the other designer of this game, George Petro, later founded Play Mechanics, and they make the Big Buck Hunter games.
Hey, how about that? Alright, so Trog led to a lot of good things. My name is... BBH. Good score, BBH.
You did good, BBH.
Alright, your next challenge is to 1 credit clear the prototype version of Trog. There you go. The gauntlet is thrown. That finishes up 1990. We are done. So that was a whole shit ton of games. Acclaim ramped things up significantly in 1990. They just started pumping out game after game after game. And 1991 is where they hit the big time with this game.
BBH says this is slander.
Hey, if you did that, you would be the only person in the world to be able to one credit clear Prototype Trog. I'm positive no one else is able to do that.
I had this game as a child.
I bet a lot of people watching this played this as a kid. This game disappointed many, many, many children.
I better start the timer.
Let's do it. Alright, so this is Imagineering, and this game is what I think of when I think of Imagineering.
Eat my shorts.
Eat my shorts, indeed. Oh, listen to that jump sound effect. It's all coming back. No, jump on the dude. Jump on the...
You got him.
I got him, but I didn't get the...
You're fucked!
Alright, good start. This is Bart versus the Space Mutants, the first of 3 Simpsons games that Acclaim released for the NES. All 3 were developed by Imagineering, who we'll see more of. We're gonna see all of those games by the time this stream is over. And there's so much I could say about this game, but let's focus on the good things first.
There's too much to do in this game.
This first level, I'd argue, is really great, conceptually. Conceptually. It's got stuff from the show. It's got Bart up to mischief. You can even call Moe's Tavern and give him a bunch of little prank calls. They actually programmed several different prank calls that you can give him. All of her clothes off.
Oh, they're gonna... Boys at the bar are gonna laugh. Love that.
And Moe is wearing a purple apron, so we have to spray paint him. Yeah, the story of this game is that Bart has to fend off an alien invasion, and the aliens, in order to invade, need things from Earth. In this first level's case, it's purple objects, so you have to either spray paint them or cover them up. And as far as ideas go, let's say it, it's good. It's really great. It could have been so much better than it was, because what essentially this is a point-and-click adventure game in the guise of a side-scrolling platformer.
It is, and that's why I enjoyed it as a child, but I also didn't because this game has controlling. You're really good at this. You're much better than I am.
I've played a lot of this game.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the controls are bad. What I'm doing here is I'm putting on the X-ray glasses to see if these people are actually aliens, because that's the thing you gotta do. There's a lot of little complexities like that make this first level really fun and memorable. And then there's the rest of the game. We won't see the rest of the game, but after this level the game turns to total shit. Just really rote left-to-right gameplay that's just unfair and badly done. And did I mention the controls? Because holy god.
Yeah, the controls are really bad. Did you need to spray paint that fire hydrant, or...?
Oh, did I? Oh yeah, there you go.
That's why you have me on your team.
I'm gonna beat this level. It's gotta be with Alex. Yeah, so I like this in concept, not so much execution. For one thing, to run, you hold the jump button.
Yeah,
and to do a running jump, you have to hold A and B in midair.
It's really hard.
It is completely unnatural. Nobody wants to do that. But there's all these little one-off things that you do that, first of all, it's an adaptation of Bart being a little asshole. He puts paint all over everything, causes a lot of trouble. But it's also part of a wider-reaching gameplay objective. Oh, I didn't buy the cherry bomb.
Eat my shorts.
Oh, there's just so much to say about this, but... essentially this game is a failed experiment to bring point-and-click adventures to the side-scrolling mascot genre. And it failed. Oh, did it fail.
Oh, miserably.
But at least this first level is something interesting and cool. It's just they could not keep that up for the rest of the levels, because they're horrible. And maybe the worst thing about this game is, you die in 2 hits, and you only get 5 lives to start. And though you get a lot of 1-ups, there's no continues. So once you die and all your lives are gone, you have to repeat this first level.
it's hard and it sucks, and it's why I never played it much after. I could do the first level just fine, but after that it sucked.
If they added continues, or a password system, or really anything, that would have made it better.
Do it! Get his head.
Good job. Good job.
Remember, victory comes to those who get a head.
I get it. Yeah, his head is a power-up.
Oh, cool. Also, Ray Barnhold said earlier, Tool World, aka Acclaim HQ.
Pretty much.
Also, did you need to get that purple keep off sign from earlier, or was that fine?
Oh, it's probably fine. There's enough items in this level where you can miss a couple and still beat the first level. Looking at the timer, we're out of time.
Oh god, we are!
So that's enough of Bart versus the Space Mutants. We'll return to this, because we gotta cover this for Mascot Friday eventually.
Oh, Christ.
But know that I have very, very mixed opinions about this game. I have complex emotions about Bart versus the Space Mutants, as I'm sure everyone else does. Alright, so, in February of 1991, Acclaim followed up on that with Double Dragon 3. Give me that timer, Alex. Okay, you've already started.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Double Dragon 2 was really good. Maybe the best Acclaim game we've seen so far. This game... Alright, so who rented this? I rented this. I know why this sucks. And if you rented this, or worse yet, had it, you also know why it sucks. This suffers from the same thing that Space Mutants did. There's no continues. You only get one life, and it's super, super, super hard. I mean, it's still two-player.
That's good.
The graphics got a little bit of a boost. The mechanics are a little bit more complex. You got a couple more moves. You can also flip around. But my god, the difficulty. Also, the levels are really long, so odds are you'd never get past level 1. But when playing this again last night, I discovered a new technique. You ready for this?
Yeah.
This is my new technique. Something I've noticed with a few Acclaim games. If you set both A and B to turbo and you hold them both down, you break a lot of these games. Double Dragon 2 was one of them, Total Recall was another, and Double Dragon 3 follows in the same tradition, because you can just flip around. And honestly, this is way easier than playing the game like normal. Normally you take a lot of hits, take a lot of damage.
Where'd you go?
But as this is, the game actually becomes kind of tolerable when you cheat. Otherwise, not a lot of things that I can say about this game. There was an Angry Video Game Nerd episode about it. Please feel free to use his research material. This is also the game where Bimmy Lee came from.
Ah, Bimmy and Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Bimmy, Jimmy, Lemmy, all the Emmys.
I know, they call me Billy Barehands. Oh no, I was almost there. Now I'm Billy Army Knife. The upgraded version of Billy Barehands. I guess production quality-wise, this game looks the part. The graphics are nice, music's good. Control isn't even that bad. In fact, you're more agile than the earlier Double Dragon games. But they just fucked up the difficulty balance so bad that it became unfun. And though you eventually get multiple characters to play with, good luck to any...
Jesus! That guy's dead!
Yep, so's that guy.
That guy, come on, do it!
There was a lot of cool things in this game, but you'd never get to see it, again, because of the difficulty. I'm Billy Bottle.
Oh, does Billy want a bottle? Well, you're Billy Barehands again.
Now I'm Billy Bottle. Oh man, it disappeared!
Boo!
Billy wants his bottle. Yeah, look at this. I'm like halfway through level 1, and already I have 1 bar of life left. And this is using my cheating method. Like, you just take a lot of damage. It's just unfortunate, is all. because this came out around the same time as River City Ransom, which was good, and this was not good. God damn it, Acclaim. How did you fuck this up? I don't know how they did it, but they did. Alright, who likes Midway-ported arcade games?
God, I do.
How about Smash TV?
Oh, this could be okay.
Yeah, so as we mentioned during our Beam Software stream a few weeks back, they published both Super Nintendo and NES versions of Smash TV. Yeah, Beam Software made this one as well. This one did not turn out as good as the Super Nintendo one, though. Let's go. This is what it looks like.
It could be worse. It's the NES, I mean, like...
Yeah, you shouldn't have expected too much.
Yeah, I had no expectation.
If there's one cool thing this game does, is it lets you use two controllers to replicate the twin joystick setup from the arcade game.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm not using that right now, though, because the default option is a one controller setting where you can either fire in the direction you're going, or you can lock your fire to one direction, like this. It doesn't work very well.
You got a roadster.
Yeah. Let's see if I can win that home game. By the way, I finally watched Running Man for the first time the other night, and I recommend it. That is a silly-ass movie.
Yeah, Danny recommended it to me, too. I
was telling Alex about it earlier. Like, half the movie, they're just fighting Final Fight bosses, like a dude on a motorcycle with a chainsaw. It's great. And then they couldn't figure out how to end the movie, and it kind of turned to shit. But, man...
movies,
that first hour was good. Yep. Smash TV on NES. It looks like this. It probably couldn't have looked better than this. Good luck. You all need it. Thanks, man. I got a lot of Acclaim's games to go.
I know those are grenades, but it looks like you were shooting cash, and that was pretty cool.
What's that armadillo up there? That's supposed to be Mr. Shrapnel in the arcade game, but...
just a big old armadillo.
Just kind of turned into a lump in this version.
It looks like a bomb.
Do I have to play the full 5 minutes of this?
No, you can do whatever you want in your life.
Hell yeah, it's a free country. Fuck you, Smash TV. Oh, man. Well, also in 1991, they made a sequel to Bart vs. the Space Mutants.
Have fun.
That's right. 2 Simpsons platformers from Imagineering in 1 year. One was not enough. Did you play this one?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
I didn't enjoy it.
Aw.
I did not enjoy it at all. I enjoyed the first one more because I was like, well, at least this has puzzles for me. Oh, God!
Yeah, the first game at least had that first level. This game, though... well, the intro's pretty interesting, at least. Springfield to Fiji, dear little towns, the Krusty the Clown Show. Time to announce the winners of the Springfield Art Contest. You get to take your family on a worldwide treasure hunt.
But they get to search continents for shit.
All entries will be fairly judged by Mr. Montgomery Burns, and will become his sole property for all eternity.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's how you do intellectual property. Here's the finalists. First, there's this watercolor by Todd Flanders.
Oh, that's beautiful.
There's a dignified portrait by Martin Prince. And then there's this one from Bart Simpson.
That's actually pretty good.
It is, yeah, this intro is actually pretty funny. The winner is Bart Simpson. Our plan is going according to plan. It's kind of redundant, Mr. Smithers. Yes, Smithers. As much as it pains me to have chosen that Simpson brat's miserable attempt at artwork. Remember your vows, sir. You despise the Simpsons and swore to wipe them off the face of the earth. Classic Mr. Burns.
Thank you, Smithers. I was distracted.
Simpson, eh? Oh yeah, that guy I want to wipe off the face of the earth. Third cousin Fu Manchu Burns. Yeah, it kind of goes off the deep end here.
Yeah.
So we go to China, and it's the same game as Space Mutants, only without the objectives.
So it's
more,
just...
yeah, it's just more straightforward platforming. At least you can take more than 2 hits in this game. You still run with the jump button. They still didn't fix that. And there's all this hidden shit you have to find, like this. I collected it.
Oh, you can just climb up that?
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit! I'd always have to throw myself in the water.
Yeah, Bart can climb. He can do a couple of new things in this game, but otherwise it's very similar to Space Mutants. Specifically the later levels of Space Mutants, which weren't very interesting. It does have trivia, though. That would be Miss Sourball.
Miss Glumpus!
Bart lose the election. He threw up during his speech. He said, "Read my lips!"
None of his supporters voted.
What's Mr. Burns'
Nigel!
See Nigel Burns.
Oh, you got 3 lives.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate the Great Wall.
Oh, yeah.
This sucks.
So, Alex, you won't believe this, but I played through a lot more of this game beyond this first level. And this first level, like Space Mutants, it's the best part of the game.
Oh, God, really?
Because after this, it just becomes extremely shit platforming, and that's it. Just no variety whatsoever. Like, one of the later levels is this upward climb, and you hop across these 4 generic platforms over and over. You just go left, then you climb up, then you go right, then you climb up, over and over and over again for something like 5 minutes.
Sounds fun.
No background, no variety, no imagination. That's Imagineering, baby.
I can't stop thinking about Mrs. Glumpus.
Mrs. Glumpus, Bart's hard-ass teacher. Ah, the classics, Mrs. Glumpus and Principal Sconner.
Ned Landers.
Ned Landry. Alright, are my 5 minutes up yet?
You got 30 seconds.
Okay, we gotta finish off Fu Manchu Burns here.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's all these different bosses based on different members of the Burns family, including the abominable Snow Burns in the 2nd level. No shit.
That was always really hard.
He's pretty difficult. Takes some timing. Other thing that makes this rough is if you hold the A button to jump and you hit the B button, nothing will happen. You have to release the A button before you hit the B button to throw stuff.
Nice.
Just real...
Alright, I'm stopping the timer, but I'm letting you beat him. There you go.
I did it.
Nice.
I don't like it.
I never beat that guy, by the way. I never got to the abominable Snow Burns.
He's here for a good Donnybrook. Second cousin's nephew's son, the abominable Snow Burns.
Alright, that's...
Yeah, and starting here, it just turns into
I did get
hell.
Here! Oh
this
my
part
god!
is just pure shit. You don't want to experience
Yeah, I'm having horrible childhood memories. Let's go.
Hey, here's a game I've never played. Did you know there was a Wizards and Warriors 3?
Shit, I didn't know that.
Oh, also, we're in 1992 now.
Oh, thank you.
Once again by Rare, and the first couple of games were good. Okay, this says 91, but it was released in 92.
Close enough.
There's this big stupid helmet. And an elf, I guess.
Visions of power.
Who's played this game? Is it good? Is it better than the first 2? Because from what I've played, it doesn't really grab me. In fact, I don't even really know what to do at all.
Let's see, Kefki12 says this is a good one. That looks interesting.
Yeah, they made it a little bit more complex. There's stuff you have to buy, and objectives you have to meet in each level. And I think you can transform into a wizard and a thief, which gives you different gameplay abilities. Just for whatever reason, though, I never rented or bought or even played this one. I spent a few minutes playing this when I first discovered emulation, but that's about it. Still a lot of hopping. He's fine.
This fell right. He would have definitely broken his tailbone, let's be honest.
Oh yeah, at least. I just wish I had an expert I could consult on this, because this is just one of those games where I have no experience with it, and any attempts I've made to play it have just made no impact on me. Hey, it's not Space Mutants. I don't have to spray paint anything.
It's not Space Mutants. That's as good as we can say.
That's the best thing we could say about Acclaim games at this point.
Oh, apparently Arno played this game.
The third one? Wow.
Poor Arno.
Yeah. Make him play Space Mutants.
No! That
Hey.
doesn't have a Japanese. He'd have to know it. No.
He played Battletoads. He liked Battletoads.
Yeah, but...
That dude's a freak.
It's true.
Much as I love Arno, come on. Liking Battletoads.
Arno's a real freak, huh?
That dude loves to freak on shitty games. Yep, this seems like a Wizards and Warriors game. Maybe someday I'll play it. If I get a glowing recommendation from anyone. Probably not, though.
The opponent does make a good point about Arno and Battletoads. He did play the Japanese version, right?
Oh, true, yeah, that had been rebalanced in several ways. I killed a coyote or something.
Nah, coyote.
I'm done with this. Flush this game. Flush it right down the toilet. Nah, it's probably fine. Well, we're reaching the end here. This is 92, so Acclaim was kind of running out of steam on the NES. Next up is Ferrari Grand Prix Challenge, another game I haven't played. Let's play it for the first time together.
I love cars, and I like when the cars go fast. Who's System 3 software? Tell me about them.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Super Putty!
Oh my god, it's the Super Putty people! Oh, this is so Super Putty!
Oh, listen to that music.
Ah, crank it. Hell yeah.
Oh shit!
This music rules!
Do I need to play the game? I like the music.
I don't know if you do.
Well, let's see if the music during gameplay is good.
Danny!
I'm the up-and-coming driver, Danny Fucko.
This is so good!
What the fuck is with this music?
It's great!
Alright, gameplay-wise, this is just your generic racer, but the soundtrack...
Apparently this game shares a one music track with James Bond Jr.
Really?
Yeah.
Same composer, maybe?
Neil Baldwin, I think? Yeah, Neil Baldwin.
Oh, Neil Baldwin! He did the Hero Quest soundtrack on NES. That was a good one. Alright, that explains why this is so good.
This is really good. Let's crank it a little.
Also, that's why they asked me if I wanted music. Apparently it's either sound effects or music. Yeah, stick with the music. I'm gonna have to listen to the soundtrack later. I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, it's good.
I did it.
Okay, so BMF has
Oh.
Fun tidbit from BMF. Neil Baldwin composed the music in hexadecimal on a notepad.
Holy shit.
kidding me?
Man, we're just spurting everywhere. Look at this.
Jesus, Danny! Jesus.
Along with really good music.
Music, Cool Coyote was Neil Baldwin.
Man.
Hexadecimal.
Gameplay, it's okay. Serviceable. Soundtrack, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's a sleeper hit right here. Alright, we're reaching the final few games. Let's do it. Let's finish this off. Let's finish the fight with Krusty and Krusty's Funhouse.
Oh, God. Still also in 1992?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
So this also came out on Genesis and Super Nintendo, and believe it or not, there was an NES version.
Can't believe they made that.
Yeah. Krusty, those rats are huge. Krusty,
Ah!
your face is grotesque.
Jesus! Jesus.
Jesus is all I can say. Alright, so I played this one on Super Nintendo. It's a reskinned version of an Amiga game where you have to crush rats. Only in this game, you're Krusty. And that's it. I guess that's a good thing, considering that all of Acclaim's other Simpsons games were by Imagineering. So, in this case, Amiga port is definitely an improvement. Crushed all the rats.
Thanks for crushing the rats, Bart.
I did it. Yeah, pretty simple environmental puzzler, but it's got a decent amount of charm. Not much to do with The Simpsons, though, so if that's something you need in your Simpsons games, sorry.
I don't know, I could see an episode of The Simpsons where Bart is Krusty's assistant and he has to crush a bunch of fucking rats to death.
You know what? Yeah, he was.
I could actually see that.
He was the I didn't do it boy, so that's just one step removed from this. Hey Bart, want to help me kill rats? Anything for you, Krusty.
Yes, who could forget, as Actual Deep Geek says, Dear Rat Boy.
Dear Rat.
This is Krusty's Funhouse Wall of Beef, but you can call it Krusty's Rat Factory. I think that's better.
Krusty's Rat Factory. Alright, killed all the rats. And there's bonus stuff to get, and puzzles to solve, and it's all done within this simple environmental setup where you have a limited number of things you can interact with. You can pick up these blocks, which you can use to influence the direction the rats take. It's pretty much a more action-oriented approach to the kind of gameplay you'd see in Lemmings, or stuff like that. I like the way his hair bounces when he walks.
It's good. According to Abby, the working title of this game was Rat Trap.
Rat Trap.
I could see this just being a game that they just slapped the Simpsons license on.
Oh, that's totally what they did. But given the alternatives, I'll take it. Yeah, Krusty's Funhouse. Played on Super Nintendo. That's my recommendation. This version's kinda ugly.
Yeah.
But if you can't get enough Simpsons, there is a fourth Simpsons
Jesus
game
Christ, we're not
for
done.
the NES. It's Bartman meets Radioactive Man.
Oh my god.
That's right, 3 wasn't enough. There had to be a fourth. Should mention this is the fourth Simpsons game Acclaim released for the NES in 2 years.
I am tired of the antics of these foolish cartoon
I am sick of the
characters.
Simpsons.
The antics of Bart, his family. I don't like them anymore.
Should also note we're getting close to the end. This is going to be our second to last game. Yeah, we've covered 27 games over the course of a single stream.
Jet Scarf rented this game, and it's very bad.
Wow, who knew?
So you play as Bartman, huh?
Yeah, so if Bart vs. the World simplified Space Mutants, this simplifies it even more, because you don't even get a map screen. You don't get mini-games. It's just this. You're going into these levels that are designed by Imagineering, so they're all terrible, and there's nothing to break it up whatsoever.
Cool.
So whereas I could say good things about the other two Simpsons games, can't really say anything good about this one. Around this time, Imagineering was basically just shitting these games out one after another. Just this, and Swamp Thing, and a million others whose names I can't even remember at the moment because I'm so angry at Bart Simpson right now. How could you do this to me, Bart?
Just like Bart to do this to you.
Was it the Bort thing? You still upset about Bort? Get over it.
I think Bart's just upset that he still has to work, like, after 30 years.
Join a union, man. I played Devil's Advocate for the first two games. I'm not gonna play it for this one. This just sucks ass. Why did they even do this? Oh right, money.
We all need money. Bart.
Acclaim.
Imagineering.
Good.
That was not the way to go.
Yeah.
Oh, you get to start at the beginning.
Start from the beginning of the level. I guess there are power-ups. You have a default attack that doesn't work at all, and you get these eye beams. I don't fucking know. The Bartman mythos isn't something that's especially fleshed out or interesting, and yet they chose that as the theme for the game. Has Bartman ever showed up in the show, even?
You know, he made one... I don't know about the newer seasons, but he did make one appearance in a single episode. It was just him in costume as Bartman.
Huh.
There was the Bartman comic by Bongo Comics, and there are a few other spin-off properties, but if I recall, Bartman does not have, like, a mythos in the show. It's just
That's right, I forgot the comics. Okay, so he does have something, at least. I should also note the song Do the Bartman has nothing to do with Bartman.
It doesn't. Bartman is a superhero character. I read a lot of the Bongo comics. I really, really liked Bongo comics as a kid.
I read some of those too. Those were actually good.
They were actually, and there's, you know, Bongo is still around, and I've read through some of their comics, like, more recently, at least in the 2010s, and they're still pretty good. They're still pretty good kids comics, yeah.
But if you were hoping for the Simpsons series to end with a bang on NES, that did not happen. In fact, the opposite of that happened. It's hard to believe that those games got less interesting over the years.
Got fucking eaten.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Stop boring Bart!
Don't for Bart. D Bart, D. I'm struggling here. I'm trying to find something good to redeem this game, and it just ain't happening. The first game, you could at least say it was an adventure game hybrid. Second game, you could say that they added a lot of variety, a lot of mini-games. There was trivia. It gave us a funny name for Mrs. Krabappel.
Was it Glurpo?
Miss Glorpo, yeah. This game, I got nothing. There is no reason for this to exist.
Actually, I don't know if Trio the Punch is in Johnny Turbo's release schedule, but yeah, it is a Data East game, so...
Ooh, yeah.
I really, really do want to see a Johnny Turbo version of Trio the Punch really badly. I want to hear him say Trio the Punch.
Trio the Punch. I'll talk to Johnny.
Okay, you talk to him. Alright, that's 5 minutes.
He liked my Rygar tweet from the other day. That made my heart go 3 sizes. I was so proud.
Were you doki dokiing there?
I was going all thump thump.
Alright.
Oh wow, I actually spent 5 minutes with this game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's finish this off in trademark style. Game number 28, the very last game alongside Bartman that Acclaim released for the NES. George Foreman's KO Boxin' from Beam Software. Beginning where we started. We started with Airwolf, and we end with George Foreman. There he is.
That dithering.
Yeah. All 3 different shades of George Foreman. So Beam Software made another boxing game around this time called Power Punch 2, which we went into during our Beam Software stream. This is the other one they made. Yeah, let's fight that guy. I think George Foreman was heavyweight champ at this time, after Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. So he got a couple of games. I think this and the Super Nintendo and Genesis versions of this were developed by Beam Software. Though this version is a little bit different. It's more like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. It's got some good punch effects.
It just is punching sounds. Had to turn it down because I imagine just like blaring punches to people.
How do I get up?
Chat saying you need to throw... Wall of Beef in particular says throw a grill at him.
I couldn't do it.
Oh my god! Very sensual for the NES. Also sensual, wow. Very sensual video game.
Doritos.
Doritos!
I'm speechless.
I didn't even see the Doritos, I was just enticed by...
This game's throwing a lot at me.
Doritos!
Stop! Stop sexually flexing. Alright, this is my favorite game of the night. It just keeps throwing these amazing full-screen images at me. Aw, poor George. Let's try that again. I completely lost my train of thought when that dude started flexing.
Started flexing and Doritos is there?
And Doritos showed up. George Foreman, famously a fan of Doritos, I guess. Famous for inventing the George Foreman grill, a fat-busting grill where the fat literally drips off of it into a disgusting plate that you have to empty out.
Oh, I hated emptying out that plate. That was the worst. That drip tray
Yeah.
sucked. It's a good grill.
I did have a George Foreman grill. It's good at grilling sandwiches. It can grill meat just fine.
It's good if you want like a nice, quick grill and you don't want to do anything else.
I can't figure out how to get up in this game, and that's kind of a problem.
Well, I
guess he's gonna win, and he's gonna do that dance again.
Do it.
And he's gonna, and then I'm gonna have to go eat Doritos in the corner. Just picturing a scene where that dude's flexing all over the place, and George Foreman is just sadly in his corner eating Doritos with a boxing glove.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's gonna do it again.
Yes. Yeah, Foreman grills are really good for quesadillas and chicken breasts and George Foreman being sad.
This is too much. I can't take this anymore.
We gotta go.
Oh, I've finally been beaten by George Foreman. Yeah. Wow, what a strange ending to that. I was not prepared. But there you go. That's 28 Acclaim games over the years 1987 through 1992. They stopped in 92. They did not release a single NES game in 93, and that was it for them. But they did go on to have a very, very profitable career on the SNES, and later PlayStation, PS2, Xbox, GameCube. They were all over the place, making classics like Turok, BMX XXX, the Red Star. No, wait, that was too good. They had to cancel it.
Boo.
Yeah, a lot to be said about Acclaim, but at least we have a good perspective on their NES era.
Mm-hmm.
It ended like this, with a lot of people sitting on a stool looking sad.
In 2004, I assume.
Eating Doritos.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually they shut down. Eventually their past sins caught up to them. They could not carry on anymore.
I know that a lot of them shutting down had to do with the kind of tie-ups they had with licenses in wrestling, too, as well.
Oh yeah, they went big on the WWF license for a while.
And I think they actually owned part of ECW as well. They were actually a big financer, and when ECW went down, that hit them. Partially. Not entirely, but yeah, it did hurt them.
Yep, a lot of different business concerns hit them all at once, and they just could not keep up with it. Eventually they went bankrupt, and that was it for Acclaim.
Rip Acclaim. But thanks for the good... Well, thanks for the times.
Thanks for some of the good games. Man, I was expecting more of those games to be good, but as it turns out, only a handful of them were worthwhile. A lot of the games had good parts to them, like Bart vs. the Space Mutants, but overall they were just really awful and confusing for children. I can confirm that. I was a children at one point. I was a confused child.
Same.
Who was very upset by Bart vs. the Space Mutants. I would have rather rented Batman. Instead, I ended up with Bart's spray painting adventure.
Yeah, as Dark Tetsuya says, Ripperoonie.
Ripperoonie to Acclaim. Ripperoonie indeed. Ah, wow, we got through all of them. I did it.
Sure did.
The physical effects will be felt in the future, but for now, I'm pretty proud of the fact that I played 28 Acclaim games in a row. Oh, gonna have nightmares for years and years afterward, but I hope it was worth it. And I hope you enjoyed this look at Acclaim on the NES. Go with God. Please leave and do not play any of these games.
Hold on, can I do something really stupid before we switch screens?
Oh, please.
It's exceptionally stupid, hold on.
Yes, good.
Hold on. There we go.
Yes. I'm glad you still have the Dolfo.
Oh, Dolfo's never going away.
Oh, well, that makes that a happier image. He's no longer depressed. He's just kind of dopey looking. And that's how I feel after playing 28 Acclaim games in a row. Not a thing I'd recommend.